The sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Hi guys, and welcome back to Sunshine and Serenity. And yeah, so the sun is finally out. We never thought we would see the sun. It's been raining for what seems like weeks. It's been super muddy, cloudy, dreary weather, and the sun has finally come out today. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. We're so excited to have you. If you will take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button, and that just helps our channel grow. We appreciate all the love and support. If my video is a little bit shaky, it's because I am having to hold it by hand today because something happened to my tripod, and so I wasn't able to use it. So I apologize if the video is a little bit shaky. But it's been a few weeks since I have done a video, and the reason for that is, let me come over here so maybe I can put this up on a cage so I can talk to you guys. There we go. So it's been a minute, a little bit, since I have done a video, and that is because yeah, so we got sick. So we've been dealing with a bunch of sickness in our household. So we came down with the flu over Thanksgiving. So, and it took us a couple of weeks to kind of bounce back from all the, from the flu, and just the up, down, cold, hot weather has caused sinus and all of that stuff. My chickens are extremely loud today. But yeah. Oops. But yeah, so that's where we've been. That's why I hadn't been able to make any videos. It's just because we have just kind of been down and out for a few weeks, just battling some, sickness and things like that. So that is where we have been. So, but a lot has happened since I saw you guys last, and so I figured I would just kind of give you an update on how the baby rabbits are doing, and kind of talk to you about a loss that we recently had on our farm. So I'm going to show you the baby rabbits, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so there's Thelma. So an update on her is, so we weaned the babies, and then we bred her again. So she is actually due with new little babies, hopefully, on the 23rd, so next week. So we're excited about that. So hopefully she'll give us some more cute little babies. Hey! Hey, Mama! Hey! Hey, Mama. Hey, I got to get your towel cleaned off again, huh? Yeah, we got to clean that off. All right. So say hi. Say hi, Dilma. Say hi, everybody. All right. So that is Thelma. So she is still doing good. Hopefully going to have her second litter of kits. So we'll be sure to update you guys on that. And these guys, who their tile is also extremely dirty, that we need to kind of clean, because yeah, it is pretty bad. We have to clean these daily because they like to just basically use it as a pooping place, really. Okay, so these are the babies. Hello. They've gotten quite a bit bigger since you guys have seen them last, and we have moved them out to the grow out pen. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Say hello. Say hello. Yeah, so these are our babies. So this one right here, we are going to keep because we actually had to cull our beautiful Louise. We had to, she was having some health issues and just was not recovering and doing well. And we had to cull her. It was very hard. It was very hard, especially for my husband, because that was his, he loved her very much. We all loved her. And so because she was my only broken doe, we have decided to keep this one, whether it's a boy or a girl, and hopefully get some more that look just like her, just kind of remembering how sweet she was. So yeah, so those are the babies. They're getting quite a bit bigger, and their butcher date is coming up soon, end of December, beginning of January. That is if we don't If we don't sell them, you know, most of them, we are going to keep 2 of them. We're going to keep this one and then one of the orange ones, depending on, you know, whether we want to keep a boy or a girl. I think we have one doe, 1 buck. And so we're going to keep one of the orange ones. And then I have a friend of mine who we are actually, she's going to have one of our does as well. And then we're going to trade her for a silver fox doe, which I can't wait to show you guys when she gets here. But yeah, so this is kind of sad. This is where Louise's cage, this was her cage. You know, I'm thankful that she's not in pain anymore. But it's very sad. She is definitely missed. And then, of course, we have our buck here, Mr. Clyde. Hey, bud. Hey, handsome. Hey, handsome. So, that's our buck, Clyde, and he's still doing his job well. But, yeah, so that's kind of an update of the rabbits. So, you kind of saw on there that we had to actually put... we had to put one of our does down. We had to cull her. She had a lot of health issues. We tried antibiotics. We tried getting her better. Nursing, the babies that she nursed just kind of either further declined her health. She got really, really skinny. She wasn't putting on weight. And she was just in a lot of pain. You could tell that she just was not having the type of life that we wanted for her, and we didn't want her to be in pain. We wanted to be able to, you know, we want to be able to give all of our animals on the farm, we want to be able to give them all a really good life. We want to make sure that they're well taken care of. We want to make sure that, you know, they have as good of a life as they can have until they serve, you know, what their purpose is. So, I mean, we just didn't want her to be in pain, and it seemed like to us that keeping her in pain just so we didn't have to experience that loss and that hurt and that pain, that just seemed like that was more cruel than you know, just you know, letting her pass on. So you know, we have a lot of great memories of her. She gave us beautiful babies out of her kit, you know, her first litter. And you know, we enjoyed her while we had her. But so that just kind of brings me to the topic of our video. And I apologize about the lighting. It's super bright, so I have to kind of sit here in the shade. So hopefully you guys, hopefully the lighting is okay and it's not terrible. But so that brings me to my topic today is being prepared for anything, especially when you are homesteading and living on a farm. Things happen that are out of your control. You know, things happen when you least expect them to happen. You know, they always say expect the unexpected, right? Well, sometimes the unexpected hits quite a bit. And you know, this goes along with anything. Like, we're going into winter. We live here in Central Arkansas, Zone 7, if you guys didn't know that. And I'm sorry if you guys hear a lot of noise. We live on a busy road, and we have planes that fly above our house because we live near a military base. So if you hear that in the background, I apologize. Hopefully it's not too loud. But we're going into winter here in Central Arkansas, and you know, this is our very first time. This is our very first time owning a home. This is our very first time out on land and on our homestead. Like, we bought this house back in February, and so, you know, we have to kind of be prepared for things, right? So our home is all electric. So going into winter time, we are looking into what we can get as an alternate heat source in the event that we lose power, which does tend to happen quite a bit living out in rural areas. You do tend to lose power, especially here in Arkansas, because most of the time, unlike you guys that live up north, most of the time when we get winter weather, it's not snow, it's ice. And we all know that ice is bad, especially when it builds up on power lines. So it can be, it can be quite a headache when we get winter precipitation here, because most of the time it does not fall as snow for us here. And so that being said, just all these new obstacles are making us have to think through, okay, what do we have? what areas are we prepared in, what areas do we need to work on being prepared in, and and kind of what more we need to do to prepare for certain seasons and certain parts of life, right? So that's what I would say. And I would say, even if you think you are fully prepared, you can never be 100% prepared for everything. Prime example of that is we didn't know when we bought this house that our plumbing was cast iron plumbing, and we just had to replace 90% of the piping underneath our house, plumbing underneath our house, because of the cast iron pipes. So that was something we definitely were not prepared for. So you can never fully be prepared for everything. We are actually in the process of possibly having to put a new roof on our house because of the storm that we had that came through back in April that dropped hail, and it actually dropped a tornado about a mile from our house. So that's something else that just crept up unexpectedly. So you can never fully prepare for everything, but I will say that living on a farm, you're going to experience loss. And so I want those of you who are maybe in the process of wanting to be homesteading, or maybe in the future, that you understand that when you get animals, that's just something that happens. It's just a part of life. And it's something that can be hard to deal with and hard to come to terms with. But just know that things are going to happen, and it's not always in your control. So, preparing, especially in our world right now. I mean, everybody knows it's kind of crazy and chaotic. We're seeing a lot of things and experiencing a lot of things that we never thought we would experience in our lifetime. We are going through a lot of things very quickly. And things don't seem to be getting better anytime soon, which is part of the reason why we, for years, have wanted to get out and be more sustainable, growing a garden, chickens, having a source of way to get meat, all of those things. We've been trying to live that lifestyle even before we were homesteading. I was canning and learning skills and cooking from scratch, and gardening where I was, and trying to do everything I could so that when we finally were blessed by God to be able to get to this stage of life, that we would be able to better steward and be prepared for that. But yeah, so it's crazy times that we're living in. So making sure maybe that you have a backup supply of food, that you're prepping and maybe preparing that way. Maybe if you live in a place like me and you're all electric, and we don't live in a place where we expect to get the type of weather that the north gets, and so when we do get it, it's unexpected and it kind of takes us a little bit by surprise. And so maybe figuring out what you need to prepare for that, heating source, a cooking source, candles, things like that. And in the event of an emergency you have, that's always good to think about. Also, if you live in areas that are prone to crazy weather, natural disasters, things like that, making sure you have what you need there. Making sure we're in the winter time, so we're in the height of cold and flu season, right? So I just mentioned in the beginning of my video how we have been battling under the weather, been under the weather for a couple weeks since about Thanksgiving, and we finally just got well enough that I could come out and film a video, and I finally feeling like myself again. And so if I didn't have things stocked, like certain homeopathic stuff, oils, tinctures, even conventional medicines. I mean, we still use conventional over-the-counter medicines. I mean, as much as we try to be mindful of using natural products, we still have to use some over-the-counter stuff, and that is okay. Like, there is no one right way to do things. But if I hadn't prepared ahead of time and I hadn't had all that stuff, stocked away for, because I knew fall and winter time was coming up, if I didn't have elderberry syrup made, if I didn't have herbal teas and things like that, it would have been pretty miserable. It would have been, a lot more miserable than it was. And, you don't feel like having to send somebody else to the store, or even getting out to the store yourself when you're sick, to get those things. So making sure you have those things ahead of time, that way, when things happen, the unexpected, you are better equipped to handle those situations. So my advice to you today would be just to take a look around at where you are, what situation you're in, just the place that you're at, and find out, okay, what do I have? What do I need to be more prepared? Whether that's learning how to cook from scratch, whether that's maybe putting back some food, maybe that's like learning certain skills that you might need in case something happens. Growing, you will never regret growing those skills because they will come in handy. My husband, through the whole plumbing, there was a guy that came out and he was able to observe him and kind of learn how to do that. So in the event that we have to do that in the future, my husband has that knowledge. So I would definitely highly suggest, skills, putting back food, learning how to cook, learning how to can, reading up on, if this is where you want to be. Trust me, I wanted to be here where I am right now for years. I wanted to be here for years, and instead of waiting for that moment, and then when I got here going, I don't know what do I do? Like, instead of doing that, I learned and did what I could where I was at to prepare me for this. And because of that, I am able to better handle this now, like more. You can't jump 10 steps forward into the deep end and before you learn how to float, right? You have to know how to tread water before you jump into the deep end. So that would be my advice to you. And even then, even if you think you're prepared, we are still learning, we are still growing, we're still going through things that we don't know, we've never handled before, like having to lose a rabbit, having to lose an animal on the farm, having to treat certain conditions when health problems arise in our animals. Excuse me. We're still learning all that stuff, so learning and growing. But if you take the time now to better prepare, to learn, to grow where you are, it will help you better step into that dream that you're wanting fulfilled in the future. So that's what's going on the farm. We are, the babies and then more babies next week. Like I said, we're going to be getting, hopefully, a beautiful new doe on our property, blue silver fox doe. So we're excited about that. So when that happens, I will try to get some footage for a video of that. I did sow my one garden bed on the side of the shop. I sowed it with some wintergreens and things. I just kind of sprinkled and threw out some seeds, and just waiting to see how that does to grow. This spring, we're gonna be trying to build some raised garden beds in addition to the in-ground spots that we grow. Start kind of building our raised areas, as well as we're still planning on tearing down that half of the barn, and then hopefully putting a greenhouse out on that slab of concrete right back there. We're also still planning on trying to build a couple of hoop houses. We're also talking about next year trying to expand and put some turkeys on our property. So expanding our chicken runs. So we have lots of goals, lots of things that we want to do on the farm. So as we do those things, we will keep you guys informed. But I just wanted to mainly hop on here and let you guys know that I'm still alive. I'm still here, but finally just feeling well enough that I am able to finally catch y'all up on a video. I know it's been a couple weeks, which is not normal. I usually try to put out a video once a week. And then I just want to kind of tell you what was going on the farm. Again, it's winter time for us, so not a lot going, not a lot growing. My chickens are slowing down on laying eggs. I think I'm getting like 2 eggs every 3 or 4 days, but most of my hens are not of laying age yet. Come the springtime, I'll be getting about 12 eggs a day, and that's a good problem to have. So I'm looking forward to that time. I'm also thinking about the spring garden. I'm really excited about getting some raised beds going and some trellising and being able to make it look more magical. Make my garden area feel like a place that I really want to spend time in. I really do enjoy the in-ground gardens, especially because that was all we had for our very first year at our new property was in-ground gardens. That was the only way we could do it. And so we just had to do what we could, with what we had where we are. And it worked great. I got lots of tomatoes. I got lots of peppers. So, I mean, the in-ground gardens function just like they should. You don't have to have elaborate raised beds and all of that to grow food at all. You can grow it in pots. I grew in grow bags. Like, you can do all of that. But I just really want a space that is going to make me fall in love with gardening every day. That's just something that I want for my heart. And being able to have the versatility of having different ways to grow. I mean, like, you preserve your food in a variety of ways, dehydrating, canning, freezing. Why not have those options for gardening? Different options for doing that. So, yeah, that's about it. That's all that's going on the homestead. I hope you guys had a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas coming up. And I hope you guys really get time to take time to spend with your family and to really focus on what the meaning is of Christmas, especially with it being harder times and inflation and all of that. We have scaled back because we want our kids to know and focus on the true meaning and the importance of Christmas, and to be really grateful and thankful for what we have. And so I encourage you guys, like, if you're in a place where you're struggling, I want you to know that you're not alone. There are lots of us that are. But just do the best you can with what you have where you are, and just remember what's really important. So I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I don't know if I'll be able to put out a video before the first of the year because we go out of town and visit family and all of that for Christmas. So if I'm not, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. As always, we really appreciate everybody who has liked and supported our channel. It definitely helps. I mean, I enjoy getting to put these videos out. It's great for me to look back on to see where I was to where we are, and it helps me be able to further solidify that appreciation that I have because I'm able to look back and say I wasn't here and I didn't have this 2 years ago, like, or even a year ago. Like, it hasn't even been a full year yet. I didn't have these things, and now because of my faithfulness and my willingness to wait on God's timing, I'm able to be here now. So I enjoy making these videos just so I have a way to look back. But I also, if it helps anybody and you guys, even if it helps one person with something, then I feel like that's an even greater blessing. So, so I'm thankful for each and every one of you guys that watches our videos, and thank you very much. We appreciate it. But y'all have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Thanks for hanging out with me this year. It's been a wild ride, and we hope that next year, we continue to grow and continue to be able to provide you guys with more content. That's our greatest wish, is just that we can help other people be more self-sufficient and be able to step into a lifestyle that is very well needed in times that we're in. So that's all I've got for you guys. So I hope y'all have a wonderful week. It's mine and my husband's birthday today, December 15th. So we're just gonna hang at home, cook some good food, spend time together as a family, and that's what we're doing. So so I hope you guys have a wonderful week and weekend, and I'll see you guys next time, maybe after the first of the year, and we'll kick off a brand new year together of blessings, right? All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, friends.